All right, so today we are out at Lincoln Ridge, and we're specifically out here to get ready for a tournament that I have coming up in Michigan. And today I'm gonna be showing you guys how I get prepared for tournaments and also giving you some tips that I think will help you out on the course before you get out to a tournament. Let's go ahead and jump into the round here. So first and foremost, one of the first things that I'll tell you guys to check before you get to your tournament or even the night before is make sure that you have everything that you need in your bag. And by that, I mean all the discs that you're going to need for that specific course. I can't tell you guys how many times I've actually shown up to a course and forgot a specific disc that I was really hoping to throw. So really just make sure that you have all your putters, some extra discs for some of your favorite throwers that you have in the bag, like mine specifically, some of the fairway drivers and a couple of the forces that I have in the bag. I always bring backups of that just in case if there's water or if there's any rough that discs get lost in easily. It's always really nice to have a couple backups of some of your favorite discs in your bag. And like I mentioned, I have a tournament up in Michigan and I'm really looking to get ready for it. It's a doubles tournament. I play this tournament every year. It's an end of the league type of tournament. So I just wanted to pick a course that was pretty similar to what I was going to be playing in the tournament. So that's why I picked coming out to Lincoln Ridge today, because some of the holes out here are pretty, I would say pretty similar to what I'll be throwing at the course up in Michigan. I also have a couple new discs in the bag that I recently got that I want to start dialing into the bag. So that's another tip that I have for you guys here is definitely dial in your bag before you get to the tournament. But enough of me talking. Let's jump into hole one out here at Lincoln Ridge, see how well we can shoot out here today. All right, guys, hole one out here at Lincoln Ridge is about 335 feet downhill, pretty much just dead straight ahead. I'm gonna kind of go through why I'm gonna be picking the discs that I am here today, maybe throw a couple discs off of different tees here. All right, so first up on hole one, usually at Lincoln Ridge, I'm typically taking a buzz. I have this older pre-flight number buzz here that is pretty straight as opposed to the 4 times that I have in the bag right now. So we're just gonna throw this down there. Should be able to get this one pretty close. Come back. Come back. Nice, okay. Once we get down there, we'll see if we can make a putt. All right, got a downhill putt here. Kind of scary putt too, just because of the green slopes down off the back. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. In this situation, if this was a tournament, I honestly would probably be trying to run this. So we're gonna try and give this thing a run. Go in. Oh, dang, so close. Okay, that was a really good run. I thought we made that. Would have ended up with a huge birdie on one there, but either way, we'll pick up a par there. I thought we made that. Was looking really good out of the hand. Putting's been, like I've been saying in a lot of videos lately, best part of the game. But we'll start out with the par here. Move on to hole 2, try and pick up some birdies. Not a bad way to start the round out with the par there. I thought we were gonna make that putt, but either way, moving on to hole 2 here. This one's 360 feet. I think I'm gonna throw 2 different shots here. Take the first one. I wanna see how the Athena holds up in the wind. There is a little bit of a headwind out here. So we're gonna start out with the Undertaker. This disc has been flying really, really good for me. So we're wanting to push this as far as we can. Keep going. That flipped up nice. Okay, now you gotta sit. Oh, I hope that hit a tree down there, because if it did, it's probably parked. If not, it might have skipped off to the left a little too much. All right, gonna try the Athena now. Yeah, that just has that so much stability to it. Definitely would be throwing the Undertaker here. All right, so the Undertaker definitely ended up hitting one of the trees down here and sitting in a decent spot. We're gonna try and knock this putt down here. Oh, too short. Right line, just not enough height there. Needing to give that putt a little bit more height, but walk away with the par there. If you're looking for a super good run of ESP Undertakers, if you're an Undertaker thrower, definitely check out the ESP Swirl Undertaker from Ledgestone. These have an amazing flight right out of the box. All right, couple pars to start out the round here. Definitely want to start picking up some birdies. Moving on to hole 3 here, it's about 300 feet. So there's a couple different plays that you can do here. You can either go the skip play off the road, and then you can throw something over the road and have it fade back towards the basket, which is what we're gonna do with I have a more stable 4-claw buzz in the bag right now. So I'm gonna throw this thing out there over the road, hopefully have a little bit of fade towards the end, not too much. Oh, that had a straighter flight than I wanted. That's all right, just sit. Okay, that's in a decent spot up there. We'll have a look at the basket. Wanted to put it over the road a little bit more, but that buzz flew pretty nice. I think the headwind kept it up a little bit longer. All right, put ourselves in a pretty good spot here, just short of the basket. Got about I would say probably a 20-foot uphill putt here. Oh, just off the right side chains there. Need to settle in a little bit more here. Get the drives in a closer position so we can put ourselves in better spots. Not the start I wanted. All 3 of these first holes have been easily birdieable, I would say. Still at even right now through 3 holes. We definitely got to pick up the pace here. All right, so before we jump into hole 4 here, I want to give you another tip going into a tournament. And that's, if you can, get out and play as many practice rounds at that course that you possibly can. And if you live near the course that you're going to be playing a tournament at, definitely head out there, play a couple practice rounds, get comfortable out there, and know exactly what you're going to be throwing. That way you set yourself up for success when it comes tournament day. All right, but now on to hole 4. This one is a definite musket birdie, if not ace this thing out here. This is hole 4, 200 feet. I'm going to take the new putter line challenger that I just put in the bag, try and get this thing towards the basket there and pick up our first birdie of the round here. Okay, nice. That skipped right up to the basket there. We should be able to get our first birdie of the round, hopefully. Really enjoying the flight of the Challenger so far. Okay, nice. Yeah, the Challenger is absolutely parked under the basket. Pick up our first birdie there, go 1 down. Like I said, this was a musket birdie here. Got to keep the pace up here though. All right, stoked to pick up our first birdie there. So we're 1 down through the first 4 holes here. And we're moving on to hole 5 here. This is a pretty interesting hole. I would say that this is actually one of those bonus birdie holes, especially for myself. A lot of times I'm just playing this one for par. It's about 283 feet, but it's got this weird, like kind of like pop-up hyzer type of shot that you have to hit. Or I had somebody in my comment section actually suggest doing a flex forehand, which I'm pretty comfortable with. So we're gonna try that out here. So I didn't ever think to throw this kind of like flex forehand shot through here. Gonna take I put a new Crystal Raptor in the bag. Oh, that looks so good. No, it hit a tree just at the end. Okay, that's definitely the line I'm taking from now on. That looked really good out of the hand if it would have missed that tree. I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and throw the hyzer line here just because I think that would be the highest probability shot that we would have. All right, so as you can see, ended up right there. I think we ended up hitting this tree. If we would have missed that, you could see the basket just down there. We would have absolutely parked this thing. And if we would have missed that tree, it would have been by far my best drive ever on this hole. But we're gonna give this putt a run here. Wow, all right, hit the pole and parked it. I'll take it. Like I said, this one is definitely a bonus birdie, so to be able to pick up a par here, I'm fine with that. All right, we'll pick up a par there. I'm definitely all right with that. Someone just threw a disc at me, unfortunately, so we got to get out of here. And all right, and while we wait for these guys to come through, I'm going to let them play through. The next tip that I have for you is just make sure that you bring a ton of water to hold you over through the round. The tournament rounds are going to take a little bit longer than your typical just local rounds that you're playing when you come out here by yourself. So make sure you bring a bunch of water. That way you can stay hydrated out on the course. You stay hydrated, you'll feel better throughout the round, and hopefully that leads to you shooting better. But like I said, we're going to wait for these guys to play through, and then we're going to jump into hole 6. All right, on to hole 6 here. Par 4, 348 feet. We're gonna take the zone here and just try and push something up and through there over to the gap that you're seeing over there. We really wanna put ourselves in a good spot for a second shot here so that we can end up with a birdie here on this par 4. Get through there. Oh, not a great spot over there. That's probably going to be a layup position from there, unfortunately. We'll have to take a look and see where that is. We actually have a gap that we can hit here, but if I can have a good second shot here up and through to give ourselves a putt, that would be sick because this was not a great drive on this hole. Just gonna take my Challenger, try and throw this thing up there. But I think we'll have a look for a putt from there. Would have liked a little bit more distance out of that thing. Not too bad. I actually thought it was a lot shorter, but I'll take this all day with an opportunity to still hit a birdie here. Nice, okay. Good scramble there. So for us to be able to scramble, pick up a birdie on a par 4 that I think you have to get out here, I'll take that all day. Picked up another birdie there, I should say. So we're 2 down on the round now, which isn't too bad. Pretty much just have to birdie out here to consider what I would be a good round out here at Lincoln Ridge. And if we were playing a tournament, I would say that would probably hold up pretty good on the front 9 out here. But we're moving on to hole 7 here, which is probably one of the most interesting holes that will play out here, and it's only 200 feet. The thing about this hole is it is extremely downhill. The green down there slopes a ton, so you really want to throw something pretty low. I'm just going to do a standstill with the Challenger, throw this thing down there, hopefully not skip off any which way into the rough that we don't want to be in. Hopefully pick up another birdie here. All right, let's see what we can do here. Get off and over that bridge. Off the bridge. Wow, sit. Oh, it's rolling away. No, it's rolling away. No. Wow, that was very, very interesting. Hit off the top of the bridge that's down there, sat almost towards the basket and then started to roll away. Should be able to pick up a birdie there still. So out of all the times that I've been here and played Lincoln Ridge, which has been many, many times before, I have never hit the top of that bridge like that. I'm sure it happens a lot more often than you would think. Pretty much almost went towards the basket. We'll take a look and see what type of putt we have. Hopefully be able to convert on another birdie here. All right, I'm glad it didn't roll down to this side down there. Also, forgot the mini in my bag. If you're out at a tournament and you're in a situation like this where there's a down tree right here, if you're playing a sanctioned tournament, you definitely got to have a mini. And even in tournaments, even in a non-sanctioned tournament, make sure that you have a mini. So that's another tip that I have out here for you today, is always bring a mini with you so that way you can mark your lie. And in this situation where I have this tree here, this is actually going to give me a better footing to convert on this birdie here. Nice. Let's go. That's a good birdie there, especially after that roll away that happened. Luckily we didn't roll away too far. On to hole 8 now. All right, on to hole 8 now. This one is about 220 feet. Very interesting tee shot here. It's pretty much just a straight hyzer shot. I was thinking about going with either a Zone or a Challenger OS, which is a newer disc in my bag, just a little bit more stable of a Challenger. But we're gonna take the Zone here, pretty much just on a super hyzer line. Here you want this thing to carry over on as much hyzer as it possibly can. A lot of times I'm not putting myself in a good position here, but I think if I just put this on enough hyzer, we should end up in a decent spot. Might be a little short, but I put that thing on the amount of hyzer that I wanted. And if I got to skip off the ground, it might be somewhere towards the basket. Probably have to convert on a pretty big putt from there. Wow, okay, with that amount of hyzer, that's a good line to actually put that thing on. Definitely a birdie opportunity here. Nice, let's go. Wow, that disc almost went through the bottom of the cage there. I think that's 3 birdies in a row now out here, which I think that puts us at about 4 down. Yeah, 4 birdies now. That'll put us 4 down heading into the final hole out here at Lincoln Ridge. All right, guys, on to hole 9 here, the final hole of Lincoln Ridge. This one is very similar to some of the golf that I'll be playing up in Michigan at the tournament. So really want to convert on a birdie here and end up at that 5 down mark, which would be a great round out here, especially during a tournament. And one thing before that I throw here, the final tip that I have for you, if you're at a tournament, is just go out and have fun. The reason why we're all out here, obviously we want to win the tournament, but as long as you're having fun out here, it makes the experience of being at a tournament even more enjoyable. And that's something that's really important to me, is just having fun out here. That's why I started playing disc golf in the first place. But we're gonna take the putter line Challenger here, try to throw this thing over there, end up with a birdie here on the final hole. Miss those trees. Dang, okay. Went pretty much just dead straight towards the basket and ended up hitting one of those trees out there. That's gonna be a tough look for a birdie from there. Yeah, this is not an ideal spot on this hole. Really big uphill jump putt from here that we're gonna have to try and hit to hit a birdie. Go in. Oh, dang, off the front of the cage there. I thought we were gonna convert on that. That would have been a huge jump putt there to end the round. Well, not the way that I wanted to end the round. Gave it a good, nice jump putt look there. But either way, 4 down. If we were able to shoot 4 down in a tournament round out here, I would say that would be pretty good. But either way, really good time out here at Lincoln Ridge today. Well, guys, that is going to wrap up the round out here at Lincoln Ridge and sharing some of the tips that I think will help you at a tournament. We were able to shoot about 4 down out here, which I think for the division that I would play in, like I said, would be a pretty good score out here. Definitely would have liked to pick up a couple more birdies and got off to a little bit of a better start out here on those first 3 holes. But either way, really stoked to get this practice round in here before I head up to Michigan for a tournament at the end of the month. But if you did enjoy the video here today, make sure that you leave a like down below. Let me know in the comment section down below what your best place in a tournament has been so far this year. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button because we're going to be bringing you more videos. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.